Good evening, fellow ghouls and specters alike. It's your ghost host with the most, Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And monkey.
Here
I'm sorry, did I speak over you?
Yeah, we should have gone over that before we went live. Go ahead, Dragon.
And BlueDragonFive, here to engage some haunted holiday hijinks by trudging through the catacombs and dusting off the cobwebs as we recount our spooky selection of Halloween classics.
So light the jack-o'-lanterns, suit up, and grab the candy dish as we revive and recount tonight's selection, Jimmy Neutron, Nightmare in Retroville. Maniacal laugh.
Laugh
Oh, okay, guys. So, hey, it's a Jimmy Neutron episode that I don't hate. Ta-da!
Yay! This is the theme song.
All right, so yeah, guys, I've kind of been not loving the Jimmy Neutron episodes we've covered for various holiday specials. Mostly because I really, just to kind of, sum up what I say on every podcast that we talk about Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron's a fine show. It's got a good, well-rounded ensemble cast of characters. I really don't like the main character in a lot of episodes. I think he's like a bit of a little snob and a little know-it-all, and I know that's the point, but he's just like I'm not a kid. I mean, I'm not the type of kid who would beat up a kid and steal his lunch money, but Jimmy Neutron might be a target for me. He might be a target for me. I don't know. There's just something about Jimmy Neutron's face that's just punchable.
Kind of a horrible thing to say. I gotta be frank with you.
Well, I'm saying if I was in elementary school with Jimmy Neutron, obviously I wouldn't go up to Jimmy Neutron as a full-grown adult and be like, "Bam!" But anyways,
but yeah.
But this one basically doesn't have any obnoxious Jimmy stuff.
Yeah, good thing we're doing this one and not the sort of original Halloween one they did, because that one really doesn't hold up as much as it could.
And of course, the Christmas in July one that we did, Dragon, was that this year or last year?
It was this year.
Yeah, that was not pretty.
Yeah, that one's kind of on me. I didn't vet that one. I remembered watching it.
Everything I hate about this show.
That's the thing. It's like I finally remembered from years ago, and then I just realized, oh wait a minute. That's as I was rewatching, it's like taking notes. Like, wait a minute, there's something's not right here. Wait a minute. I remember. Basically, I kind of fell down a well of like, oh my god, what have I done? But
Jimmy's falling down the well.
Yes. However, thankfully, the Halloween episode is a lot more. That one actually met up to the fond memories that I did have. So at least that one was relatively the same experience.
Yeah, I recall. What was it when Tiki came down last year, and we were kind of hanging around watching some Nicktoon Halloween stuff. We watched this one, and I recall you being pleasantly surprised with this one.
Yeah, and that's definitely a big factor why we're talking about it this year, is because I do have that nostalgia from that trip. Even though that trip's a year old, it was a fantastic trip. That was the same trip I went to go see Hamilton, thanks to you, Monkey.
You're welcome.
But anyways,
it was the trip you showed me.
I have a lot of nostalgia for Jimmy Neutron on its own. I gotta say, the biggest nostalgia I have for the show is the build up to the movie with the little shorts that would play before, in the commercial bump.
Yeah.
But the show's fine. Like I said, it's a nice ensemble show. guys, I'm sure you two have probably more nostalgia for this episode than I do. So do you want to talk about like specific childhood nostalgia for this one?
I mean, I remember like whatever ad Nickelodeon used to have like around the year this aired with those sort of cartoon monsters, and there was some bit where they were advertising this episode, and it was the clip of Sheen coming up the road as a werewolf, like pouncing towards the like close and closer to the camera, and the cartoon werewolf of the ads was singing something about his youth until he got pulled off. And yeah, and I certainly remember elements of it, like the general plot and the monsters and such. And I remember this is also where I first heard some pieces of monster lore, like probably the stake through the heart, definitely Silver. And yeah, it's a fun one it's a nice one to revisit. It's a nice Halloween episode.
Yeah, I used to tape the Jimmy Neutron episodes when they were first going on way back in the day. I used to tape. I don't know if I set out to try taping them all, because I remember I did that with Dragon Ball when I was a kid. When I was a kid watching Dragon Ball, I did try to set out to tell you. I taped all the episodes from the first season because I loved that. I went nuts for that show. But Jimmy Neutron, I just remember, like, you know, this is before the advent of DVR and everything. It was so much simpler. This is back when you had to coordinate and something. You had to figure out, oh, can the VCR tape it on another channel while I'm doing something?
And of course, you'd have to like fast forward through commercials because they record commercials too.
Sure, when I had to get the tape label, you know, it's a whole ordeal. My point being, I do remember this. You know, of course, Jimmy Neutron thing always stands out to me. Kind of the pseudoscience and the technology and all the stuff that kind of Jimmy would be up to, and basically the monster transformations were cool. It's like, hey, it's a Jimmy Neutron episode that's legitimately. It's not just kind of like a little bit of horror themed, like, you know, with a like kind of there being like a monster in Retroland at night, or there being. I mean, another good one, by the way, would be Sleepless in Retroville. That's a decent.
I'd say. Like between this and the Phantom of Retroland, like I'd probably put Sleepless as the best one. Jimmy's not even a jerk in that one. Like I'm totally down for doing a podcast on that one someday.
Sleepless is a really fun one. I will say I have a lot more. I don't know. I have nostalgia for this, but I think I have more fun, a lot more. Like I think collectively, I think all of us, even Tiki, once he sees it, I think we have a lot of fun, you know, collective nostalgia.
Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell based on the title, but like I said, I wasn't someone who taped the episodes of Jimmy Neutron. Let's just say I wasn't following it episode by episode. Like by that point, you know, by that point, like with Jimmy Neutron, I'm a couple years older than you guys. So, you know, by the time Jimmy Neutron came out, I was already in middle school. So, you know, Nickelodeon was kind of becoming one of those things where it's like, I'd watch SpongeBob, you know, I'd follow SpongeBob, but a lot of the other Nicktoon stuff kind of fell by the wayside for me going into that era. And even stuff like, I don't know, what were some of the other things coming along at that time? Like Chalk Zone, I remember being one where it never really thrilled me. I
liked Chalk Zone a lot, by the way. I thought that was.
I'm not trying to throw shade at Chalk Zone. I'm just saying, like, for my and this was a point where I missed out on some good Cartoon Network stuff too. Like I missed out on Foster's Home.
Right. Real quick, Ralph Gonzalez in the comments, he says, was this the episode with the evil flying pizza? Yes, sir, you are correct. That was indeed the episode.
Sleepless in Retroville, yeah.
Yeah, Sleepless in Retroville, and it had the, basically it was kind of a really interesting parody on slasher films, and I really loved it. It was, anyway.
That's a story for another day!
Yes.
Monkey, didn't you have a teacher that was like exactly like Miss Fowl or something like that? I'm sure we've gone.
No, but I knew people. No, but I knew people who went to, I guess, the school that the creator of Jimmy Neutron went to, and a teacher there was the inspiration for Miss Fowl, and is apparently still teaching, still there.
All right.
Anyway,
though I have seen Andrea Martin, so yay.
Yes, that's the connection, Tiki.
Got it.
Okay, last thing real quick. So I do want to echo something that Monkey said. I do have a bit of like kind of monster lore kind of becoming a little bit more known to me with this, because basically the thing I really wasn't that aware of, and I think it was this, and I think I might have gotten a little bit of it from Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Werewolf, or the Wolfman, whatever they branded that as. The point is, I didn't know the weakness of a werewolf, because again I was all in the Frankenstein specifically, and you got Frankenstein, you got Dracula.
Frankenstein.
Yes. To be fair, though, it goes in an arc that turns into Frankenstein. But yes, yeah, I didn't quite know the whole silver weakness of the werewolf, and they definitely kind of show that hilariously in this. So a little fun fact there.
All right.
Of course,
Well,
it's funny. Years later, I grew to love Lon Chaney Jr., so it was it's kind of funny how that turned out. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, or should we just dive right into it?
Probably dive in.
Let's take a deep dive.
Okay. Let's do a Kingdom Hearts deep dive. That was
right.
All right. I want to play Kingdom Hearts 3 so bad. Anyways, I'm sorry. Back on track.
Anyways, so we start the special with Goddard carving a pumpkin, and he's howling at it.
Yay, Halloween atmosphere.
Yes, howling at it dramatically and such. The boys are questioning what to be for Halloween. Like, oh boy, what to be for Halloween.
Yeah, 2 points. A, what a relatable feeling. Like, what are we going to be for Halloween? My second point, why have they waited until Halloween night to decide?
Well,
you know what? I'm going to give that, I'm not going to give that an enthusiastic, we don't care, but I'm going to give that like a meh, we don't care.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a shrug of your shoulders, like, yeah.
And we know why Jimmy waited. Jimmy waited because he's not sure, and the boys, they're most likely going to
he wasn't planning to. By the way, something I noticed on rewatching it today, when Jimmy says that, like, you could be Miss Fowl, he moves his arms like Miss Fowl would.
Yes, he
does. Like the sort of wing flapping there.
Right. Well, I mean, if you need to communicate fowl and kind of charades, it's kind of like the way to do a foul bird, the chicken dance. But yes, but yeah, I don't know. They were all kind of contemplating going to stuff that have gone as before, so I think that maybe that's why they waited to the last minute. But yeah, it's kind of like blase. We don't care.
Then again, come to think of it, I think Carl knew what he was going to be.
Right. Yeah, Carl did.
Yeah, he'd already decided on Llama Boy with a cape.
All right, well, I guess mystery solved. Then they all had a very good idea what they were going to be, and Jimmy was just on the fence of going or not. And of course, him waiting.
And Sheen is Sheen.
Well, Sheen always has an Ultra Lord costume at the ready, so.
Well, he wore it out. He's not going to be Ultra Lord this year because he wore out his costume.
All right, I'm sure he has other costumes like Robo Fiend that he was contemplating. I believe he threw out Robo Fiend as a maybe in this one, didn't he? Or am I imagining it? Am I mixing?
I don't think he does. No.
Okay, I'm mixing a different episode. Then that's on me. Okay, so
he just wants to be really scary.
Right, really scary. Okay, only Gore Sheen's kind of a mental patient, so he's probably waiting to the last minute. So okay, mystery solved. The point is,
no one would solve that if we gave Sheen a spin-off.
Don't joke about that, Tiki. What stupid networking they have? What idiot in their right mind?
We need to get down to the complexities of Sheen. You know what I mean? And like a hypothetical spin-off might be
that is the stupidest Tiki of all the things you've ever said. I think
we could this dramatic, emotional exploration into his life and why he was held back twice.
I think you're both morons, and that'll never happen. Mark my words, that'll never happen. As long as we live, we will never see an abomination of a show. I mean, they might as well call it I'll pitch you something. I'm going to pitch you the dumbest idea I've ever thought of. Okay, I'm going to pitch you this. Imagine this. Imagine there's kind of like an old launch. Oh, launch. I thought you said lunch gag. Where Sheen's going to go to Jimmy's rocket or something. He's going to push a button that says, don't touch this button. He's going to land on, let's say, another planet just to get him off planet, but we're going to be really lazy, and we're going to have knockoffs of characters like Carl and Jimmy, but as a monkey, and it's going to be stupid. And then no network in their right minds would pick that up. Mark my words. Anyway, getting back to the point.
Is Dee Pickles in it?
No. There is a line to absurdity. Certain things would never happen. Anyway, getting back to serious topics here.
Like Octopus Man.
Well, we're getting there. We're just
we weren't there yet. Okay,
we're skipping around a little. I gotta lay out the narrative here.
Okay, forgive me if I skip to my own damn loo, my darling. Fuck.
Okay. Anyway, so
anyone else feel drunk?
No,
I
monkey.
think you're alone on that one, buddy.
Buddy.
Boy, I think
Okay.
you got us all covered on that front. Okay. Anyway, so
Don't turn this into Christmas with the Cranks, monkey.
anyway, so again, they're contemplating costumes like Llama Boy. Jimmy assumes that Shin's going to be Ultra Lord. No, because he wore it out. Jimmy poses the question, do you feel kind of weird still dressing up? And of course, their instant responses, no, heavens no, we don't feel out of place at all. Says, yeah, I want to be something really scary. And Carl, he puts forward, I'm gonna add a cape. A cape is scary. Why don't you add a cape? Just I love Carl and the cape kick. This episode just cracks me.
Take that, Edna mode.
Yeah, I love it. Carl's like the Charlie Brown approach to Edna Mode's kind of cynical worldview, where it's like, I don't care what anyone says. I'm gonna go for the cape. That's kind of what Carl's mantra is this whole episode of a cape is scary. Ooh.
All right, enjoy dying, you small idiotic child.
Pretty much. So Jimmy suggests Miss Fowl, which of course is like a collectively too scary. So then we're at Octopus Man. So Hugh, he's watching his old favorite here, which is
I love the classic stop motion quality to the animation here.
Or Godzilla quality too. It's not even, it's like you can tell it's a fake and it's a suit, and they have the close up of the bus and everything. They got all the details right on that one. Looks like a fun B-movie horror film. Like around the corner is like a giant tarantula or something, like Octopus Man versus the giant tarantula, 8 legs versus the other 8 legs. It'll be amazing.
Well, but what about this alternate ending where he grows a 9th arm?
Well, again, that's how he gets the upper hand, literally.
I
love this little foreshadow by it. There's actually some clever foreshadow on a rewatch of this episode because Jimmy enters the fray as he was watching this.
Oh, yeah.
And
I mean, aside from the obvious foreshadowing, but yeah, that in particular, damn, that never occurred to me.
Yeah, you see Jimmy's hair, the way Jimmy's hair's animated, it's kind of moving in a tendril-like way. It kind of freak out Hugh for a minute, but of course it's a big foreshadow for where we're going to go with that, ultimately. And he's asking the boys, hey, boys, you want to watch the 3.5-hour director cut of... the 3.5-hour director's cut of Octopus Man where he grows an extra...
How long was the original cut?
That's the question. It's like the Snyder cut that just keeps on growing. Essentially, that's pretty much what he's pitching.
It's like Watchmen. It's like they come out with 4 different versions of it.
And I
was kind of thinking Little Shop of Horrors myself, but yeah.
Or Blade Runner. Take your pick.
And to be fair, I'm saying Watchmen literally is it goes from 3.5 hours to ultimately 4 hours. So it's.
And you know what? That 4-hour cut, I've seen it, and it is damn good.
I agree with that sentiment full-heartedly. By the way, I'm very simpatico on that. So Hugh, laments on how he always wanted to be Octopus Man. I think we've only talked about Jimmy Neutron really twice, period. But at least on a podcast, so I just want to bring it up again. Like Hugh Neutron, I got a lot of fondness for this character.
I think Hugh Neutron is probably my favorite character in the show.
Yeah. And in Hugh, he wanted to be Octopus Man for Halloween, but his mom didn't get it for him because it was too scary
for a 16-year-old.
Mm-hmm. And he never forgave her.
Never. And I just love how it's like and then right after then he's watching and it's like, when you're watching some movie you enjoyed as a child and you know what's going to happen, but you're still like, run, Octopus Man, run! They're going to get you! The
thing with this Octopus Man joke that kind of really hits home with me is that Hugh Neutron as a character always reminds me. I've always did the weird animation comparisons that Hugh Neutron and Rodney Copperbottom's father, Stanley Tucci, Herb Copperbottom from Robots, those two characters mixed together. They kind of remind me of my father, and it's like moments like this where my father would he'll yell adorable things at the TV, like he would. So he run, Octopus Man, run. So it's like it's kind of it hits me where I was like, it's kind of nice. It's like good old Hugh. And of course the poor misunderstood creature, as he's saying, lament again. Big setup for a lot of fondness for Octopus Man. Okay.
And Carl trips on the stairs for some reason.
Oh, sure. So, Carl's questioning Jimmy what he's going to be. You're going to be Einstein? You're going to be Jet Fusion? You're going to be that guy in the wheelchair who uses the keyboard?
Well, actually, I'm not going trick-or-treating this year. Oh, that's nice, Jimmy. Just go ahead and actually them.
He was going to go as Eddie Redmayne, but, they shot that one day.
I don't get it.
Stephen Hawking.
What? Oh,
Eddie-
I get it
Eddie-
now. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, so he reveals that he's grown out of it. He's grown out of it, which leads to a lot of shock and awe from
Yeah,
Carl.
that kind of weird line about it. It's for kids.
We are kids.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're young enough for it to not be debatable whether or not you're still kids. You're 11 at most.
Yeah. Then they're basically kind of asking, what about the candy? You know, the bubble gum, the tiny chocolate bars, the artificial flavors, the red dye number 5, all free.
Well, Jimmy has planned for that.
Yes, he does, and I gotta give Jimmy this. This is kind of an enterprising idea he's coming up with here. So Jimmy's got a little project worked up here, and
Yeah.
the turn that he's offering to make them into real monsters, to get in exchange for a percentage of the candy, which again would circumvent how Jimmy would get his portion, basically get like a share of the candy, which I think is nothing but fair if he can do this for them. You know, he would get a percentage of the candy, not a huge percentage, I'd imagine, but you know, a fair percentage.
Yeah. What was he off? What was he saying? 25%?
25%, and then Sheen insists on going up to 50%.
That's the thing. So, I mean, Jimmy was being reasonable to 25, which again is fair given that. And you know, it's like the old adage, like asking, like it's like in Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, the whole, you know, can I get an extra piece from my stupid brother who's stuck in a pumpkin patch? Now it's kind of like one of those things. They just ask for like, oh, I have a sick friend. Can you get a piece of candy for him? Okay, so the two. So they're all game for this. And so, can we go to the Jimmy? Can I say it? Sure, Carl. What does he say?
I didn't write it down. Did any of you?
Okay. So Carl's asking. He's begging. Can I say?
Mean, I know he goes on kind of like a tangent of like.
Yeah, the place where we go and then something goes wrong and we go on a big adventure or something like that.
Something like that.
That's pretty much it. So I think we're all. There, where Jimmy invents things that then something goes wrong and we have a big adventure.
Just assume that I have like the whole episode transcript written down sometimes, Dragon. Like you kind of cue me up for lines that I may or may not have.
Right.
So I assume you don't have any lines from the alternate ending of Octopus Man?
Unfortunately, no.
I do, but apparently they're now moot. So we have Jimmy's 27th greatest invention. I believe 27th.
Yeah,
greatest
27th.
You know, it's a funny line. Just like I love he's being honest. Like, yeah, I've invented some clunkers in this one. It's not my finest, but you know, it's up there. It's in like the top 30.
I thought he meant it in like it's the 27th time he said that this is my greatest invention.
Maybe I think that might be it. I think that's how it goes.
Yeah, that would be interesting if like. This isn't the 27th episode, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Now, Monkey, you remember how outlandish I thought this premise was, right?
Not really.
Yeah, I was pretty what the hell about it, honestly.
I
was like,
love this idea.
Well, I don't know. It's like, to me, kind of like, I know that he uses like the atom thing to explain it, but like, it's kind of blurring the line with science.
A neutronic monster maker.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know it. You know, it's atoms. So if we're looking at a family of thinking, it's all to do with the Addams family. And the tomato flies into my face.
Little foreshadow. Foreshadow right there.
Anyway, so we have a Price is Right wheel.
Yeah, 102 monsters.
Well, there's 100. Yeah, you're right. It's 102 monsters on all over that wheel, and it's a big wheel. Bear in mind, it's a big wheel.
It's got room for Michael Jackson.
Yes, I remember we definitely pointed that out.
That's not Monster. I mean, maybe it's. I think it's supposed to be thriller, but just on the off chance that it's not, I mean, still, it's pretty scary.
No, it's supposed to be thriller.
Right.
Yeah.
He's got like the red jacket and everything.
Yeah, although I think facially it looked more like him in the, his, like,
Darker
I don't know.
Period.
Yeah, like the long hair, white skin, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Weird. All right. So they have. I like how this thing's designed. Like you can see kind of the made parts of again this giant wheel, and you have like this umbrella that kind of has like the rod and everything. So again, the idea is he has 102 monsters to choose from here. He's going to walk them through like what the various choices are, and it will basically alter their molecules to transform them into the monsters. Basically, like having 102 costumes at your disposal. As far as Jimmy knows, of course, someone's going to go horribly wrong, but we'll get to that later. So, 102 choices he's going through, and the first one off the bat is classic. It's a werewolf. And
That's me! I want to be the wolf guy!
Of course, like Shane, I got a whole bunch of other stuff to show you here. There's like 101 other.
You don't understand, Jimmy. It's been my lifelong dream to be covered in hair. Or fur, whatever the line was. Get it right, monkey.
It's hair. You got it right the first time.
Okay. Wow, I actually got something right. Am I smarter than Jimmy now? Well, Sheen, that's not. I'm smarter than Jimmy. I'm smarter than Jimmy. Sheen, don't make fun of Jimmy.
Okay. So then we go to Carl here. So as Jimmy's cycling through options for Carl's at least hearing a few more of the options out. Jimmy's making an assumption like, "Hey, Carl, what about the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Too hunchy." We go to the Blob, too blobby. And we go to the Phantom of the Opera, too opera-y. Just good old Rob Paulson. He never disappoints. Then of course, what about Frankenstein? Of course, Sheen comes in with
Frankenstein.
Yes.
That was great.
Good old,
I don't like his wardrobe. I'm more of a summer.
Yes. And then, of course, he sees, oh, who's that? Who's that? The guy in the cape. I want to be him. That's Dracula. I want to be Dracula. He has a cape. So he's sold. So Jimmy, when he strikes the classic, this is where I'm liking this here. So Jimmy's striking the classic mad scientist pose. It's a no-brainer for Jimmy Neutron. Of course, to be a mad scientist in a Halloween special. It's great.
Now I'm picturing in that old Mickey Mouse cartoon, the mad scientist, but the scientist is Jimmy.
It's the Mad Doctor, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I meant, the Mad Doctor.
Yeah. Right. So Sheen comes out. He's a werewolf, and he's howling at. They get kind of the moonlight figure, which is like one of the electrodes on top of the machine. And we have Dracula.
Dracula.
Well, sure.
Dracula.
Yeah.
Carla.
Dracula.
Carla Galley. No, it's stupid anyway. So.
Daniela and Carla from the salon.
Nosferatu.
Okay, that's good. I'm jealous of that.
No, he's from SpongeBob.
Yeah, that'd be
Nosferatu.
You want to be technical?
Apparently, they brought him back.
Did they really?
I guess
SpongeBob?
it seems so. Yeah.
You know what? I mean, considering they gave an entire episode to
God, I mean, it totally works that he wasn't in there, but what if he showed up in the musical? Okay, moving on back on track.
Considering that they gave an entire episode to the My Legs guy, I'm not entirely surprised.
Same.
I feel like modern SpongeBob is kind of like very meta.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, while we're on the side of tangents, do you guys remember, hey Monkey, do you remember Attack of the Twonkies?
Of course.
He's bringing up because Ralph Gonzalez here. He's asking if we're ever going to recap that. So if we ever get to that, we guess we'll.
Is it another episode of this?
It's a Jimmy Neutron episode. Yes.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't remember episodes like episode by episode like you guys do. It's kind of a blur for me. So
no guarantees, Ralph, but we do remember that episode.
Memories of a Buzz Lightyear, pretty much Buzz Lightyear, but with that episode, the ride. I mean. Like a Twonky version of the Buzz Lightyear ride.
Oh, God.
God, anyway. Yeah, let's get back on point here. Sorry, trailing off a little. Okay, so Carl, he has this tiny cape, and I love the design of this. Carl is Dracula. This is such a Heimlich gag. This is Heimlich. This is Heimlich gag. If you've ever seen one, it's like, well, Heimlich, I'm just going to become a cute little butterfly. He wants to become a butterfly. And of course, in the end, he gets, instead of these big old wings, he gets these tiny little wings on his.
My wings!
But he likes them.
I look like little ants.
So Carl here, I love that Carl. All he wanted was a cape, and he has this tiny little cape, but he's happy with it.
Yeah, he's satisfied. Yeah.
So Yeah, let's see. So Jimmy tags along for the fruits of his labor, and he offers the service of the hover cart, and he's got a good enterprise going on there. Hover cart,
Fruit, I
kind
want
of like
candy.
yes,
That's
kind of like
Carl.
a yes, kind of like a hover car kind of version of Uber.
Huh. So literally a lift?
Yes, actually, yes. Okay, so take the hover car as this kind of speedy candy getting method.
Yeah.
If anyway, Jimmy, has anyone ever told you you're a boy genius, which kind of an obvious name drop, but I guess they worked it in at some point in the series. This is a Halloween we shan't ever forget. And this is kind of the adorable thing about these three guys kind of like going off and doing things. They always have like that we shan't ever remember. It's always like that. That was the one they always had to give
Shan't
Jimmy.
forget. You shan't remember is something else.
Right.
This Halloween is one we shan't ever remember.
Well, depending what
So-
kind of Halloween you're having.
Yeah, so it's like we're not gonna remember it, so let's go full on hedonist. I don't know.
All right, let's see. So Hugh's looking for his Swedish duck feet. Let's see. He stumbles, and while he's doing it, he stumbles into Jimmy's lab.
Which he thinks is some mysterious dungeon or something.
I think this might have been the first time he's been inside the lab because, like, there was the hamster episode where he was on the outside lab. So they know he's got a lab. They don't know what it looks like on the inside. So he stumbles on inside of it. Let's see. So we have the. So he sees the giant. He thinks it's a game show. He thinks the machine is a game show because the giant Price is Right wheel. Why wouldn't
Name that monster. Spin the
spins it, pulls the lever, and whoa, where's my prize?
I bet if I pull this lever, something really fun happens.
So, oh my god, so Judy's planning on giving away prune puffs and banana balls, which I'm sure.
This episode isn't just saying. This episode isn't. Judy's not at her brightest in this one.
No, yeah, you're right. She's not. She does kind of bring reason later on, but you're right. She's not really at her. Again, it's Halloween, so he's in a costume. It's Hugh Neutron, so if Hugh commits to a bit, I mean.
I guess.
Anyway, so we have Frank and Hugh.
Yeah.
She loves it, and she's asking about the whole Duckman of La Mancha, and of course, La Mancha makes me think of Lost in La Mancha, the excellent documentary, which is based on the Don Quixote, the whole Don Quixote film that was never made. So that's kind of.
Was the Duckman of La Mancha Duck Quixote?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
I believe that's what I think that's what that gag is really. Okay, so
I look forward to seeing a Duck Quixote puppet on Small World.
what I really look forward to is seeing Lost in Duck Mancha, which is about the Lost in La Mancha, basically the Lost in La Mancha style about this whole Duck of La Mancha thing. So let's just make everything duck. Let's see how that goes. Like the Howard the Duck universe version of that movie. Anyway. So, let's see. So Hugh, she goes to get her costume right now. She asks Hugh to light the jack-o'-lantern, of course, fire with a little candle wick thing, and basically a little candle lighter.
Yeah, that's certainly a memory from this episode. Is like just Frank and Hugh being all fire. I know I uttered that. I know I whipped that out at least once during Hanukkah. In my younger years.
During Hanukkah?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, for lighting the candles, that makes sense.
Bring out the, that lighter like Hugh has here. Is like, light it up. Fire!
I gotta admit, right now I'm thinking of some Hanukkah Frankenstein jokes that I can't quite share here, but let's just press.
Oh boy.
So,
Here's them afterwards.
What?
Hear them afterwards. Anyway.
Right. Okay. Anyway, so let's see. Carl and Sheen. Let's see. They're at the Prince Willoughby's house, and he's giving them walnuts, which is kind of weird. But he's giving them walnuts. Again, they couldn't get away with a rock. That's too much. They're stealing too much.
What about rock candy?
Well.
Well, anyway, so yeah, Willoughby. It's a very brief scene, but still memorable. Still a lovely...
It does get weird. I forgot how weird the scene got. So.
Yeah, being like kind of like right in the center of the episode is like, wait, what's going on now?
So what happens is Willoughby, he's saying, "Oh, good, great costumes." And he's basically reminiscing about the various costumes that he has worn. He says, "Oh, one year I was a butterfly, and one year an elf, and a sprite,
Peter Pan 6 times,
an ice skater, and the last one. Here's the weird one."
it was Michelangelo's David, and I gotta tell you, that year was chilly.
Oh boy. Just for the kids, just working some adult humor there. The
This
parents
never
are watching.
occurred to me until now, but how old was he when he was David?
Oh God. Oh man, I don't want to know.
Those are the questions that bear litigation, Monkey. But we're not going to delve into those questions right now. So the boys are reminiscing. Yeah, we're gonna get so much candy, and we're gonna be sick for weeks.
Goal.
Yes. Coral hates wrapped candy. Of course, okay. Why does he hate wrapped candy? Because he always cuts himself on the shiny paper, and of course he demonstrates by trying to open a piece of candy. Which, by the way, folks, little PSA: you don't do that till you get home, or something like this is gonna happen.
Yeah, and otherwise, Sam is gonna come after you. Not this Sam, the other Sam from the reference I'm making.
I know what reference you're making.
Thank you, Tiki.
I haven't watched the movie yet. I'm saving it for Halloween night, honestly.
Yeah. If he showed up in the Jimmy Neutron universe, what would that be like? I don't know, he attacks Sam in his house? I don't know.
All right.
Or Captain
just
Betty.
So Dragon's not completely lost. Dragon, we're talking about like the little kid serial killer from the movie Trick or Treat.
Oh.
Yeah, anyways.
All right. So.
But and Carl bleeds in a bit of animation that hasn't held up.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever.
Okay, I gotta say this whole bit was kind of disturbing to me. Like Carl drinking his own blood and then offering it to the other two. I'm like, oh boy,
it's way better than Purple Flurp.
Like that's how we spread diseases, kids. Don't do this.
Okay. Well, first off, I don't. I think this is the first time we've seen blood in the Jimmy Neutron. Maybe,
and perhaps the only time.
Yeah, perhaps the only time as well. Yeah, I think we've seen bruising. That's been about the closest thing to something like that. Yeah.
So Jimmy Neutron had characters bleed before Pixar did.
Oh well, if this way, what? Yeah, crap. Now you got me thinking what years this is. Darn.
It was before 2009.
Well, no, the first use of blood was Finding Nemo. Well, technically, if you want to be really technically have a Bug's Life.
Okay, my bad, never mind. I was thinking of Up.
Well, technically, you have Bug's Life. You want to be really uber technical. Other than that, you have Finding Nemo being the first use.
Okay, it was Nemo. My bad.
Anyway, that was fish blood, so I don't know whatever you want. Anyway, okay. Yes. Okay. Anyway, getting back on point. Sorry about that. Yeah. So Carl's sucking his own.
And then Carl turns into a bat. So
he does. He does. Yep.
Okay. Save Judy.
Anyway, so Tiki, with the whole point about him offering the blood, I got that. I love how pleasant Carl is as a vampire. It's like something Lugosi would never do.
Like all I could think about was the gross quality to this man. All I could think about was like, oh god, that's just not okay.
Well, so long as Sheen didn't do stupid, like, sure, I'm like, as long as he didn't say sure, I think it's okay. I think they're communicating the right lesson. They were disturbed, like, okay,
I'm just saying, man, it's not a good lesson for the kids. It's really not.
Well, it's definitely not a lesson that's a lesson in animation, more the lesson that is not held up there. Like, no, folks, don't even offer other.
Please don't ingest other people's blood, folks.
It's just not cool. I mean,
I know it's tempting if you're out for revenge, but it's probably not worth it.
It doesn't, folks. I'm gonna disprove the big old rumor here. Like, no, you will not maintain abilities or get stronger, but you're not gonna. It's kind of like eating the heart. All right, you're not gonna get their strength and their courage. It doesn't work like that. All right, trust me.
I mean, blood may be thicker than water, but that doesn't mean it's better for you to drink.
It's not pleasant. Anyway, so Let's see, getting back on point here. So again, Carl's offering blood. That's like just
need blood. You need counseling.
one of the great lines of this. Just again, this is back when Sheen was good. Back before Sheen just became a blight on society.
God.
Just an absolute a blight, just a blemish on the face of the world. Just before any of that happened. Just anyway, back to happier days. So, yeah, like it's like cherry soda with a lot of vinegar in it. So try some, guys, and you need counseling. So then Carl transforms into a bat.
Yeah.
We get Bat
Children
Carl.
of the night, and he's got an accent now.
I love that. I love him going full Lugosi here. It says, "I'm going to join my children of the night," and Horse turns into Bat Carl. I love
it. Like how, come to think of it, the accent goes away at a few spots, like when he's kind of being more of his typical Carl self.
It is, and it's quite funny.
To give the whole quote, he says, "Listen, children of the night, what music they make." And that's a direct pull from the Lugosi Dracula movie, and I love
which
it.
is cool. And we do have a couple legitimate pulls from the horror films, especially later
and we
on
get
this file.
I always forget the name of it, but you get that piece of music there that just always associate with Halloween.
Sure it's Swan Lake.
Is it Swan Lake?
I'm pretty sure it's Swan Lake.
I mean, like that one, like Mickey's House of Villains used it as well for the Hansel and Gretel segment.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's got to be it.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. That's I know what piece that is. Because we used it in our Fantasia 3000 pitch.
Did we?
I'm pretty sure we did. I think it's called Masquerade.
So, yeah, I think you're right. I think we did do that.
Dance Macabre.
Dance Macabre. That's it. I believe Jacob came up with a pitch for that.
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Thank you, Internet.
I'm sorry?
What?
Thank you, Internet.
Yes. Yeah. Hooray! Anyway, so the point is, Carl turns into a bat, which is a really fun, absurd design, just like a bat with like this giant Carl head on it, which looks hilarious to me. It's like, that's the thing that stuck out to me most from this. Whenever I keep thinking like Dracula turned into a bat, like the comedy version of that for me is Carl with that just the big head on the bat, just kind of fun. So Jimmy's concerned. He's now put it together like, oh my god, the molecular structure is basically.
Wasn't when he realizes Carl turned into a vampire on his own. Sheen has this line that honestly I completely forgot about. It's Halloween. What do you expect? But so whoa, Carl turns into a vampire. Wait, what? The machine actually altered his DNA and made him a real vampire. Shane's a real werewolf.
Yes, and mutated their.
I see what you did there, monkey.
That's topical.
It's mutated their molecular structure, so basically it's not an outward appearance. It's like down to the molecular level, all the way in the DNA. So now it's like you become a real monster ipso facto. And we have this
real monsters.
Yes, in the. I was about to make a monsters in her pocket joke, but that's stupid. Anyway.
We've never talked about All Real Monsters. I feel like All Real Monsters like totally gets lost in the shuffle of Nickelodeon history.
Did I pitch you that maybe we were going to do Monsters in Her Pocket this year? Or is that a no? Did I ever bring that up to you?
I'm sure you brought it up. It sounds familiar.
I don't think we vetoed that or not. Just like we had other things anyway. Sorry, because I keep thinking that because I'm sorry. I'm going to trail down off the rabbit hole. I don't want to do that right now. I'll tell you.
Just gonna throw this out there. Real Monsters After Dark.
Nice. Oh man. Anyways.
Okay, getting back on point here. Yeah. So we have this great classic split screen here. So it's going to be a memorable.
Yeah, that's certainly one of the things I've always remembered from this one.
Sheen's howling the full moon. He escapes. He's running off, and then there's going to be a memorable Halloween if we survive as Jimmy runs away from Sheen to escape as well. Then we have the split screen of the three monsters. It's classic split screens. We have, where Sheen. No, he's right there. No, sorry, it's where Sheen. Dracula.
Their Sheen. Their castle. No, their Sheen. Their Carl.
And Frankenhue, of course. And it's again the Universal monsters, like that trio, that triad, like the big three. I just love seeing the big three, no matter what form they take. It's always cool to see the big three.
Yeah.
So Jimmy has to turn him back. She's checking the data.
He lands in a park, in a nice atmospheric park.
Yes. And he's evaluating his options as he tends to do with Goddard, and basically so he's run down the bona fide of information on Dracula, which is insatiable bloodlust. We have these hilarious images that are on Goddard's screen here, like Dracula sucking blood, but the PG version of it on television is him drinking blood with a straw, which is hilarious.
Out of a foot.
Yes, it's great. We have like the hypnosis. I think he has a watch or something doing hypnosis.
Yeah, the watch back and forth. We don't get to see an image for the repelled by garlic.
Yeah, you're right. We don't. Then we have the wooden stakes. The point is, all of it's a no-go. All of it, especially the wooden stake, which is lethal to their old buddy Carl. We don't want to see Carl impaled. I don't want to see that. America doesn't want to see that. Then we have, of course, the werewolf.
Even a man who is pure at heart and says his prayers by night.
I kill myself off.
Wolf when the wolfsbane blooms and the autumn moon is bright.
Essentially, Miss Fowl, luckily, wanders in.
Yeah. When I first saw that old Lon Chaney wolf man, I certainly thought of Miss Fowl when that passage came up.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, I think it has to be a direct pull from the Wolfman, because it sounds so on. Yeah,
it is.
And I love Miss Fowl just kind of wanders in frame dressed as a gypsy, relating all of this.
Yes.
Perfect.
And this is I feel like a thing Jimmy Neutron especially did kind of in the later half of its run, where characters suddenly speak in different voices, or say Bulby doing a dramatic monologue, Nick doing a beautifully sung lullaby, and then here with Miss Fowl doing the Baba Yaga accent.
You know what the amazing thing about Bulby is? Bulby is voiced by Phil Lamar. And for years I had no idea. Never put it together.
That would have been fun if he was in this episode.
Well, I mean, we can't have Bulby in every episode.
And this may have been before he even showed up.
I believe that's the case, actually. I think you're right about that.
But anyway, so Miss Fowl was married to a werewolf, which kind of odd, which raises some questions considering she's not the marrying kind.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a marriage of convenience. Maybe he needed citizenship. He was from London, after all. I mean,
Maybe we don't know the circumstances, so go ahead with the fanfic. I mean, all we know is that Miss Fowl is afraid of commitment and not the marrying kind. I'm a free spirit. Butterfly in the breeze, going wherever fate wings me.
Just keep thinking of Ultra Sheen when he had the giant brain hole. I'm afraid of commitment. I wasn't talking to you.
Yeah, precisely.
Yes. Okay. So yes.
But they can turn other people into werewolves by biting them. Some of you may be having flashbacks to Bartok the Magnificent right now with this voice.
Right. So, so the point is, Jimmy gets it's kind of a fun exposition, done a little reverence for the Wolfman. But the other thing is that, and this is where we find out things, the kind of thing that blew my mind. I never knew there was a way to I didn't know the werewolves had a kryptonite. Silver. Of course, a bullet. Yeah, bullet.
Cane, spoon, floss, anything silver. No, wait, not floss. I got ahead of myself. Cane, spoon, anything silver. Okay, happy Halloween. Don't forget to floss. Then she disappears into the fog.
You know what, folks? I think we need PSAs like that from time to time. I think Miss Fowl's on the right path.
If you ever run into a werewolf, carry silver.
Miss Fowl is quite likely my favorite Jimmy Neutron character.
It's between her and Hugh.
Yeah, for me, it's easily Miss Fowl.
Right. For me, it's Carl and Hugh. Those are my favorites. It's got to be Carl.
Mm-hmm. Well, valid choices.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So getting back on points. The point is now Jimmy knows what the weaknesses of the monsters are. So Carl bumps into Sydney.
Sydney?
Sorry.
Sidney Poitier?
That would be great, but no. Poitier, what are
Hey,
you doing?
Sidney Poitier, guess who's coming to dinner? Ah, bites him.
They call him Mr. Tibbs. Okay, so he runs into Cindy Vortex, dressed as Muffy, the Vampire Annihilator, which of course is a reference to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's good. Very again, I just love the kind of the classic, the better vampire than kind of the Whedon-esque vampire, which is cool but modern.
Well, at least they don't have a Twilight vampire in here. To be
Thank
fair, like
goodness.
I'll take a Whedon vampire any day over the
No,
Whedon.
look, I don't mean to despair.
Yeah, I think this was before Twilight.
No, I know it was. I'm just saying, like,
Well, now I have the delightful image of Carl sparkling and being like, "Look at me, I'm sparkling."
Sparkle.
Hold on tight, Spider Monkey.
God.
And then Sheen is the werewolf. Oh my! Are you Team Carl or Team Sheen?
I think Monkey's having a good time this evening. So, but yes, very again, it's kind of fun to see Buffy. Buffy's just kind of falling under the radar, and again, because Whedon's been doing so many other things with the MCU and everything. It's kind of nice to see a Buffy reference after a long while. It's been a while, so again, nothing to disparage Buffy.
Yeah, you're trying to weed them out. I could have worked that pun better.
Yes. So, no, about the whole Whedon now, it's not bad. Okay, so Libby's late, and while Libby's late showing up here, Carl hypnotizes Cindy. And of course, like, if you don't mind. I love the lighting. The lighting's what kills me. The lighting's like, oh my god, I love this sort of thing with Lugosi Dracula. It's like the lighting changes, and of course, we have like the hypnosis in the eyes, but again, just like the lighting changes when he does it. That's great. So,
yeah.
Right. So, what's your blood type? A positive. Delicious. Yeah. So now, Cindy is yet another. The idea, I guess, Carl offscreen must have bit her. I guess.
Yeah.
Which is kind of vicious. The thing of the Carl Weezer, the adorable Carl Weezer, as essentially.
Oh my god! I'm picturing like as he bites her, and like all this blood's spurting out, and it's the same kind of CGI blood that we saw earlier. So like that same film quality. So
basically, it's like her neck is crying, essentially.
Oh my gosh! The whole series of Jimmy Neutron. What if it was gorier?
I don't know about that, but
I'm not being serious about this, of course.
Of course. All right, so Jimmy has Jimmy has Goddard on lookout for howls and vampire screams, and howls and victims screaming and just vampire stuff in general.
Yes, vampire screams.
Right, vampire screams. Yes. So they go to the park. We're in the park, and we see, and then Sheen finds Libby the fashion model. You got any meat on you? So again, Sheen's like, he's looking for me. He's looking for something to satiate his hunger and his appetite.
Yeah, cows, pigs, sheep.
Of course, she reveals that she's a vegetarian, and Sheen's saying, "I knew it. Carl owes me $2. I thought you were a Republican. Of course, it's not a Republican. Oh, you can't eat meat."
No comment on that.
Right. So, you're meat, aren't you? He says, well, yeah, if you want to be gross about it, and of course, just yet another like charging attack off screen, like something really horrific. It got a little more horrific that we know Sheen. It's just once we know Sheen has an attraction to Louis, which makes it even more creepy when you really think about it. So, Jimmy's getting closer. As Jimmy's getting closer, Hugh, and this is hilarious. So Hugh is walking to the classic, Frankenstein music that soothes the savage beast.
Yeah.
Hugh wishes he could walk.
Yes, I could walk faster. And then Sam. Sam is great. Yes. Some great Sam stuff in this episode. Like, he is on in this one.
He is. He is.
This Sam doing random kind of like folksy kind of Transylvanian stuff here.
He's basically like Igor in this moment, playing the violin.
Yeah.
Hey then, Neutron, just running out the old Stradivarius.
Yeah.
Any suggestions?
You gotta get Danny DeVito to play Sam if they.
Oh, I don't know that one. You want to hum a few tunes of it? Roar.
Oh, it's good. Who wrote it? Never heard of him.
So Sam is on
play
fire.
it again, Sam.
Yes. Essentially, yes. All right, so Judy Neutron. Judy
as the bride.
The bride of Frankenstein. Judy, she's dressed as the bride of Frankenstein. She wants him home to help him give out the snacks, give out the candy. And of course, he's mumbling as basically, of course, he's talking like a monster. He says, "Me want you." He says, "Use complete sentences. Don't mumble. You gotta get marbles in your mouth." So she. Then he carries her in the threshold and says, "No, this isn't our rumba night."
Yeah, that's the kind of moment that especially feels like not Judy's brightest.
That's kind of funny though.
Yeah, I mean the delivery of it like, this isn't our rumba night. But then you get Sam like, I wish I was married.
That's what I'm saying. That brings it home like that. So
yeah.
Okay, so Jimmy finds Carl and Cindy. But he
gets caught up in semantics of, is a vampire alive or dead?
Yeah, he's running away.
It doesn't matter. Cindy's a vampire now.
Yes, so of course he gets him with the old, "Hey, look, the Red Cross is having a blood drive." Of course,
Where?
Jimmy makes a run for it.
And then bats follow them.
Make like a bat and follow me.
But then they're repelled by Lucky Tony's House of Garlic.
Lucky Tony.
I love how it's specifically Lucky Tony.
Well, he avoided the snap, so he must be lucky. So, Jimmy is sneaking back to the hover car via this really dark, imposing alley, which is never a good idea, folks, just in case anyone's ever curious. It's never buy some garlic and buy some silver while you're at it. Of course, he's accosted by two werewolves. We have this great POV. I think we have the POV shot here, if not earlier.
I think it was earlier, but...
Yeah, you're right. It was earlier.
Yeah. Well, we do have this nice shot where it's like, we kind of get Jimmy's POV, like, looking into the alley, and then we get a shot from above, and we see the werewolf shadows, like, on the side of the screen go following him.
And of course, Sheen bit Livy. Yeah, we're just friends. And
we're just good friends.
And you better not have rabies.
Yeah. Don't worry, I've had my shots.
So again, Sheen's really thankful. "Oh, thanks, Jimmy. You've turned me into a werewolf, and so it's been awesome." Except for the fleas. Except for the fleas, yes.
The tail I could handle, but the fleas, they were murder.
Yes. So of course, you said we were going to get something to eat, Sheen. How about Jimmy? And of course, they're going after Jimmy. They chase him. He gets in the Jimmy's corner, but thankfully he's in front of the Hi-Ho Silver Store. See, there's this great running gag ever since the first episode of Jimmy Neutron Boy Jeans. There's always these very convenient kind of Deus Ex Machina stores all around the place.
I guess so.
Whatever he needs to save the day, it's always around. And here, I think, just they have probably the best names out of all in your Hi-Ho Silver Store. It's so. Meanwhile, your mom and dad kind of come by here, and he says they're not. Your father's not quite himself tonight, Jimmy. So Jimmy's put it together. Now, even his father, he fell down. He fell in the lab. He turned himself into a monster. And of course, she slaps you. Says, "She hate me." And
I love that Hugh just straight up drops Judy.
Yeah. Well, she hit him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was probably intention to just like put her down, but being Frank and Hugh, drop.
Yeah, he can't bend his joints. Of course, he's got a lot of room for finessing. So, Carl comes by, and he tries to hypnotize Mrs. Neutron, and of course, this leads to one of my favorite moments in the whole thing. I'm a sucker for a good old monster battle, like the old days.
Taking down by the flapjack!
Flathead.
Oh, flat top. Okay.
Oh, he was saying, "She mine. Take a number, Flathead."
Flathead.
Which leads to this hilarious look. Again, it's such a ridiculous version of the classic monster fight, where you have like Frankenstein versus Dracula, and of course eventually versus the Wolfman, where it's this hilarious like little meatball shaped Dracula versus this tall rectangular Frankenstein with a big nose, like Frankenstein with a big honking nose, just gets in the way of Dracula trying to bite him, which is hilarious. Then the Wolfman just jumping on his back. It's like, again, the proportional kid sizes versus this tall, goofy looking man. It's all quite hilarious. And then of course Cindy and Louie, they're exchanging some pleasantries about, oh, look what you do with your hair and your teeth, and it's
yeah.
They're using teeth whitener, and again, it's all nice. And of course, then they get into a fight. Now it's fighting all around, and it's classical.
Jimmy's enjoy like this is pretty cool.
Who wouldn't enjoy just for a few moments of like, yeah, it is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Then Judy tries to be the voice of reason, saying, "Look at yourselves, look at you all fighting here. It's not right. I'm going to give out fruit snacks. I'll see you later.
You work this out amongst yourselves."
Yeah, she doesn't want to be part of any of this, wanton violence. What is this, a Hammer horror film? She can't be part of this violence. So, anyway, so then Sheen then turns into the voice of reason, which means we're in rough shape here. So Sheen suggests that they go after the townspeople, which is kind of a fun little monster thing. Of like, yeah, let's not go after each other. Let's go after the people who always chase us out of town and everything. We're monsters. Let's go after them. Who wants to rampage through town? Yeah, let's go. So Jimmy back at the lab. He needs something that can take on a werewolf, two werewolves, two vampires,
and a reanimated corpse.
This leads Jimmy.
Yeah, he gets it, lowers the molecules or something so he won't be mutated like the others, spins the wheel, and then the wheel changes between cuts. Yay, continuity error with the, like you notice, if you notice, like he spins the wheel, it lands on the monster that he does become, but then in the next couple shots, the wheel is on Michael Jackson. So what if Jimmy had turned himself into Michael Jackson, and
that would be amazing.
And then it becomes a Thriller parody.
Yes. Oh my God.
That was the alternate ending.
This episode's pretty damn good, but that would just elevate this episode into the stratosphere.
Jimmy brings the angry mob and the monsters together by doing a rendition of Thriller.
I love that. I love that way more than the actual solution, even though the actual solution's fine.
No, just John Landis to the side giving a thumbs up, like, yeah, this is going great.
And I picture like the characters are like in different costumes. You got them, and maybe you have some other monsters, and you have Willoughby as David.
Oh God, that's going to scar the hearts and minds of the youth of America.
Maybe he has a leaf. I don't know.
He better have a leaf. I'm going to say that much. Better have like a whole tree or something there. I don't. Anyway, so
you didn't. Wait, you did it. Come on, Neutron. You didn't like Funky Jam Dance Party with some science, but you're cool with this? Anyway. So, yeah. Real monsters are attacking the candy bar.
Very slowly, I might add, because like it was this big old imposing lineup of monsters hitting the candy bar, and we just have great flipping toadstools. They're real monsters.
Yeah, get some angry villagers, some garlic, some silver stuff, and a beautiful red-haired woman named Tessie. We don't need a beautiful red-haired woman named Tessie. Speak for yourself. The eyebrows.
So we have this obscured angle of Jimmy. We don't know exactly what he is. If the smart discerning audience member could probably figure it out, but the point is, like, Jimmy's a little obscured there. So don't worry, boy. It's all going to work out. I hope. So as Jimmy's off to save the day, hopefully. We have, again, very slow monster attack, because now, like, the anger mob has gathered while they've just been standing out there, like, moving very slowly, I guess. I mean, Frankenstein, I get it, but I mean, the rest of, like, Wolfman, no excuse for that. So, a quick mob is formed outside of Sam's. This is a nice, quiet neighborhood. Now get out of here. So they have garlic, they got fire, they got silver, which is silver teaspoon. Some guy showing off a little teaspoon, little ditty on the knee.
Playing the spoons, yeah.
Yes, and then of course, sorry, you do it.
Sorry, Sam, I couldn't find you a red-haired woman named Tessie. Ain't that the story of my life?
That's what I think. That's if we had to pick one line from the episode, I think that Tessie line might take. It's just for being funny. I don't know. It's just old. Ain't that the story of my life? That's fine. So. They're all. Now this is hysterical with me. They're all chased to this mini golf course, and
what you don't know at first, like you love how despite that, just how seriously Sam is taking this. Like, set fire to the windmill.
And of course, we have a great
Bob Hope is there.
No, Crosby. Wait, isn't it?
Oh, wait.
I'm sorry.
I thought it was supposed to be like Bob Hope.
No, I'm sorry. Sorry. You're right. It is Bob Hope. I'm sorry. I'm thinking something else. Yes, I'm jumping to it. So yes, you're right. It is Bob Hope.
Excuse us, playing through.
Yes. I appreciate a good Bob Hope reference.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Hope and Crosby. That's where I was. I'm sorry. My bad. So
I wonder, what are the odds that I could see this going either way. Could it be possible that having the windmill be part of a golf course is a Frankenweenie reference?
I don't know. Historically, there've always been windmills on golf courses, and this is way before Frankenweenie. So
what? No, this is after Frankenweenie.
Well,
the original Frankenweenie.
Yeah, the original Frankenweenie. Yeah.
Was the original Frankenweenie like full length? Like where did the original Frankenweenie end?
The original was only 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they go to a golf? Like, did they go to like a windmill in that one?
Yeah.
Oh. Right. Okay. Well, yeah, you're right. Then maybe it was a pull from Frankenweenie.
Yeah, that was like 20 years before this.
Okay. So, they're on the mini golf course. I want to set fire to the windmill. Of course, then they're realizing, oh my god, this is the part where the monsters die in the movie. We're screwed.
Yeah.
So it's then of course something arrives, and we have the kind of this great, like, it's a birds of plane moment with kind of monsterized version of it. It's horrible. It's hideous. It's Jimmy, no, it's Octopus Man. Me love you.
Yeah. That's a nice payoff.
Yeah, it is a great payoff. And of course, I've had flying octopuses where I draw the line. Run, Sam says, breaking up the crowd. So they all get sucked up.
Suck them up, turn them back into human. Oh yeah, a little side note. It's nice how this has the Halloween transitions.
Yeah, like the jack-o'-lantern, the kind of the ghosts and the bats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do that for their holiday specials. It seems like this one, the Christmas one, the Valentine's Day one.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
They're all brought back to the lab, and they are all transformed back to normal.
Or rather, the machine is outside now.
Well, of course. Well, he had to get it outside to get them all, I guess, because he didn't want them all in the lab, especially Cindy and Libby.
Yeah.
Before they kind of were past that whole thing, I guess. So Jimmy's mom comes out. She offers banana bowls and prune puffs, and they're like, no, we want candy. And they didn't. They realized, oh no, we didn't get to go trick or treating. We left our candies going after we turned into monsters.
Just pointing out one more, just a little amusing Sheen moment where it's all, I've lost all desire to consume human flesh. Lovely delivery.
Yeah. And Jimmy has an idea like, oh, of course Jimmy stole the Octopus Man, by the way. That's kind of an important detail. So Jimmy does not transform himself back, and Jimmy has a fix for that as he rings using his 8 giant arms floating in midair. He rings doorbells simultaneously, and I guess he's either going to send them there, or he's going to suck up the candy. We don't know, but we have this great imposing shot of Jimmy looking at the camera saying,
yeah, trick or treat. And that is a bit of a creepy moment.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, sure.
So I just kind of hung in the background and let you guys do your thing for the most part this time, because like I said, I out of the 3 of us, I'm the one who's the least invested in Jimmy Neutron. So I don't really have a lot else to say about this one. It's solid. It's definitely the most tolerable that Jimmy's been in episodes that we've covered. So that's a good thing. And Monkey, as you know, I definitely have some nostalgia in the making with us watching this episode. It's funny. It's like I have adult nostalgia for this more than I have childhood nostalgia for this. Like I have nostalgia over watching this a year ago more than I have watching it as a kid. So, I feel like you guys are much more well equipped to talk about this one than I am.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, guys?
Well, yeah, it's a solid Jimmy Neutron Halloween episode.
Yeah,
and certainly better than the Phantom of Retroland.
Oh, Eon's better than that one.
Huh?
Eon's better than that one. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I thought it was straightforward. It's it kind of homages the classic monsters. It's kind of a vague. I didn't mention this while we are doing the thing, but like I mentioned here, it's kind of vaguely kind of a Goosebumps-esque premise. It's kind of like one of those like holy monster, a machine that turns you into a monster, and you actually become that monster. It's kind of a vaguely.
I can totally see that. Yeah.
Kind of a pseudo-scientific approach to something like that, which is kind of neat.
Starring Jack Black as Carl.
Yes.
Or should he be Willoughby?
No, he can't be. Well, I mean, here's the thing: they probably would. Hollywood would cast him as Willoughby just to spite us, but But it's no. On the whole, this is a fun episode, and like as a Halloween episode, one it's like marketed as it's Halloween, it's on the actual holiday. It's solid enough. But I mean, if we're going by like scary, kind of creepy monster related, Jimmy Neutron episodes, it's Sleepless in Retroville. I think I got more fondness for that one, but this one is a Halloween special.
I'd say Sleepless in Retroville is a stronger episode, but not to discount this one. Like this is still a very fine one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the end of tonight's selection, and our spirits grow weary, but they'll be stronger than ever next time as we engage in even more haunted holiday hijinks. Don't forget to floss.